Good evening, viewers. Welcome to this session. We have a lot of news to share with you, and a lot of the points that are coming out are about the Kerala decision, to have a CM, and also we're talking about, CM Vijay's non-reaction when Udayanidhi Stalin said that Sanatana Dharma should be removed. So, welcome to each one of you. So, let's start first with the Kerala event. Now, let me just go to the image. Just a second, friends. Yeah. So now in Kerala, there's a very strange thing happening. Almost, in all the other states, the CMs have been sworn in. We are talking about BJP Assam. We are talking about Bengal, West Bengal, and and also Tamil Nadu. Vijay has been, installed as the CM. But something very strange is happening in Kerala, and that is Kerala has indicated that the suspense over Kerala's next chief minister may finally end tomorrow after crucial talks where we saw Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge. In fact, he was even putting the slippers for Mallikarjun Kharge as he came out of his house. And it's very strange that it's almost 10 days since, they got this majority, and yet no decision has been made. And BJP has been attacking the party for delaying this announcement. Now in Kerala, the decision to announce CM of Kerala has been postponed, and people are just wondering what's happening. And they put completely they put Kerala on hold. So it's a bit this kind of thing has never happened anywhere else. So it's very strange for Keralites to they can't make any decisions. And as far as I'm also from Kerala. Usually, the men in Kerala have very thick mustaches, and they're described as male chauvinists. Now it's time that they all remove their mustaches, because they have now been proved to be mere puppets. Now we're talking about the Congress, okay? Mere puppets to a bigger game that has been controlled by one family. And why does it not surprise people? Now the High Command is playing favorites, is the tale as old as time in Congress. And the current standoff between K.C. Venugopal and V.D. Satishan is turning into a classic case of Delhi's preference versus the ground reality. The widespread perception that K.C. Venugopal is the High Command's trusted lieutenant, the man who executes the Delhi line, while Satishan is viewed as the street fighter who actually led the charge against Pinarayi Vijayan's government. Here is why the drama is so high stakes right now. So before I go on to that, let me tell you today, a friend had come over and from Kerala, and he was saying that he is his classmate was, is Satishan, and he said that there was a time when Congress was really down in the dumps, and that is the time when Satishan was brought in to revive Congress, and he really went through a lot of pains to, make everything right for Congress. Now, when everything has become right according to people in Kerala, that is the time that they have pulled the rug from under his feet, and now they are planning to install K.C. Venugopal as the CM. Now, as the AICC General Secretary, K.C. Venugopal is Rahul Gandhi's right-hand man. You can always see, Rahul Gandhi sometimes you feel has absolutely no information. It is always K.C. Venugopal is feeding him things wherever he is, whether he's in the car or on the road or in the parliament. The fear among Satishan's supporters is that K.C. would essentially run Kerala as a satellite office for Delhi, something similar to what Manmohan Singh was to Sonia. Now, very similar to Manmohan Singh, so working under remote control. Now, the Satishan factor, he has grown into a formidable leader of the opposition. He isn't easily pushed around. So that is his character, which makes the High Command rather nervous about losing direct control over a state that is now one of their only few remaining power centers. And they're petrified of their vote bank rebellion. They're terrified of the backlash if they push K.C. as the CM. The Congress can't afford to alienate its core basis, is what is happening. Now, the majority support, Satishan has strong backing from the IUML, which is the Indian Union Muslim League, and other UDF allies who want stability, not a Delhi, mandated experiment. And if the High Command ignores the Satishan wave among workers to install a Delhi nominee, they risk a repeat of past blunders, where local leaders simply stop cooperating, leading to a complete internal sabotage. And also, if you're looking at the by-election dilemma, there's also a practical mess because KC Venugopal is a sitting MP. Appointing him as CM forces a by-election. Banners have already appeared in Alapi or Alappuzha, as it's known now, telling him not to force a by-election and stick to national politics. Now, the deferral to tomorrow is likely to, why is that been postponed for tomorrow? It's most probably a desperate attempt by Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi to convince Satishan to take the role of a deputy CM or a powerful cabinet post to make way for KC. But Satishan's camp has reportedly been adamant. It's a top job or nothing. So he's very adamant about, this not accepting anything else. Now, it's less of a choice now and more of a negotiation which is happening for the past 10 days to prevent the party from imploding before the victory celebrations are even over. So you can imagine Congress is in such a dilemma. Do you think Satishan will actually blink, viewers, or will he let the whole thing go to, a vote in the CLP? The equal deal is exactly, or they could work out perhaps an equal deal. Now, the equal deal is exactly what the observers have been trying to cook up behind closed doors in Delhi. This is what they've done in Karnataka and all other places. But for a leader like Satishan, who has built his entire reputation on being the face of the UDF's resurgence in Kerala, stepping aside isn't just about the title. It's about his political survival. You can make out that he's a very adamant man. He's not someone who can be pushed around. Now, if Sonia Gandhi wants him to give in, the bargaining chips on the table are likely to be rather massive. If they offer a standard deputy CM post, that won't cut it. To make him blink, they'll have to offer him home plus finance combination or a super ministry that effectively gives him control over the state's machinery, leaving the CM as more of a ceremonial figurehead for Delhi. So that could be one possibility. Second is, the other deal usually involves giving him absolute control over the party's organization, which is KPCC, with a written or solemn promise that he will be the face of the next election, or get a clear path to the CM seat after 2.5 years team sharing arrangement, which was done in Karnataka, but which has not been fulfilled. We're talking about Siddaramaiah, the deal between Siddaramaiah and also we're talking about DK Shiv Kumar. Now, there's another third point. Now, there's always a chance they will offer him a high-profile national role, working president of the AICC or a major Rajya Sabha seat. But as you know, Satishan knows his power comes from Kerala vote bank. Taking a Delhi promotion is often seen as a golden parachute into political irrelevance back home. So that also is something he's not going to accept. So the drama which has happened today is that Satishan's supporters and the allies like IUML know that once a high command favorite like KC takes the chair, the deal often evaporates. In Congress history, a turn-sharing promise is very rarely kept without a massive fight, which is exactly what is happening in Karnataka. If he accepts anything less than a CM post tomorrow, it will be a sign that the high command used the rebellion threat to squeeze him into a corner. So it is, in fact, all of you should be thinking, is this a good deal for him? If they offer him a 2.5 years as CM starting now, would the KC camp ever agree to wait? So this is something that is going to really, put not only these people into a dilemma, but also, the people who are now, both the Congress as well as the contenders. So this is something that Congress is very, very scared of, and that's why they're taking their time, to do this. Now, as we said, we're talking about moving on to what happened in, when Udaynidhi Stalin on Tuesday reiterated his remarks calling for the eradication of Sanatana Dharma in the Tamil Nadu Assembly during his address as leader of opposition in the Tamil Nadu Assembly. He said the opposition will not permit any attempt to sideline Tamil Thai Varthu, the Tamil invocation song. As you remember, they had actually sung Vande Matram and then the Janagana Mana, and then only had they gone on to the Tamil Thai Varthu. So this, he says, has really upset them. He argued that Sanatana Dharma promotes social divisions and inequality during his address. He also stresses the importance of preserving Tamil cultural traditions and objected to what he described as the sidelining of this Tamil Thai Varthu, the invocation song during the official state events. Now, as he spoke, the camera, focused on the Chief Minister Vijay, and he was seen listening quietly and even smiling during parts of the speech. After Udaynidhi concluded, the video footage showed the CM folding his hands in a respectful gesture towards him. So this has shocked most of the, a lot of the Hindus who were watching it. Now, the CM's decision not to counter the remarks immediately has drawn sharp criticism from several quarters. So this is something that has made everybody, including opposition, very angry. National media and opposition figures like the BJP have questioned if the CM's silence indicates a tacit acceptance of anti-Hindu rhetoric or a lack of ideological conviction. Now, TVK versus DMK dynamics. Despite their recent election battle, where a TVK won 108 seats to DMK's 59, Udaynidhi jokingly remarked that the DMK is the senior batch, ready to teach the new government. Now, in many cases, you will see that Vijay is being taunted as someone without experience, political experience. Now, this drama unfolded just a day before Vijay successfully passed his first floor test in the assembly with 144 votes on May 13, 2026. Now, while some people view the CM's composure as a sign of clean politics and maturity in the House, critics argue that by not defending Sanatana Dharma on the floor, he may be alienating a significant portion of the electorate that voted for him as an alternative to the DMK's traditional Dravidian stand. Now, Vijay's agenda is not to change the system, but to replace the DMK as its primary operator. Now, let's look at what is going on. Now, he has labeled the BJP as his ideological opponent, right-wing versus his center-left, and the DMK merely as a political adversary, accusing them of corruption and dynasty. By maintaining the DMK's core stands such as the two-language policy, state autonomy, and rationalism, he is positioning himself as the cleaner version of DMK. So it's just another version of DMK rather than a genuine ideological alternative for those seeking a pro-Sanatan or a nationalistic shift. So a lot of the people who had hopes on him are already disillusioned. I'm looking at the comments as well. Many people are saying that what is happening in Tamil Nadu. So in short, you look at the agenda is to build a hardline Tamil first identity while staying silent on the sensitive religious issues. Now we're talking about pro-Hindu, to avoid being labeled as pro-Hindu by the very base he's trying to steal from the DMK. So it's very clear that this man is shedding his mask and revealing what is his real agenda behind the CM seat. Now, a lot of the people say he's worse than Arvind Kejriwal in social media. So this is also happening. And as we speak, let me just take a few comments coming in fast and furiously. So welcome, Sunita. Sunita says, watched TN Assembly proceedings yesterday. Of course, with subtitles, I was really shocked when CM Vijay was just silent when EU Stalin said that he should remove Sanatana Dharma from its roots. How did Hindus vote for this guy? Yes, absolutely. And he will be showing his true colors is what I feel, Sunita. So one more secular, no difference. So also this thing of, secular, I mean, why is it only belonging, to Hindus? Is what Sunita also asked. Actually, I was happy seeing his oath that he should shake two nonsensical parties. Now, she also says it's not just Gen Z, madam. People there wanted someone who would bring change, voted left, right, and center for this guy. She's talking about Vijay. And she also says one of my colleagues from there said he was never a fan of Talapati in movies, but wanted someone other than these old parties. And when I texted asking about Trisha, he told that this is a personal matter, so didn't mind, but never expected him this way. And I have no idea why the term secular was coined in our constitution. And my question is to all Indians, is why secularism only applicable to only Hinduism? Very well said, Sunita. That's absolutely a very valid point. Now, Dhanashri says, did watch the expression of Vijay when Udaynidhi foul-mouthed about Hindu religion. Seriously, on what basis do these people represent the state? And welcome, Lena. A little bit late, aren't you? Yes. And these politicians don't come to serve the public. That is why fighting for top posts and positions. And see how they are changing colors. Like a chameleon, they are slowly changing colors. Behind them are people who are controlling them, like puppets. And this is coming in each and every action of theirs. Lena says, is TVK having links with CIA? And strange, no one in the assembly opposed Udaynidhi. It's very sad. I mean, in a country that is, majority are Hindus. Hindus don't feel ashamed voting for an anti-Sanatani party. Lena says, very well said, Lena, because from the beginning, you remember as an actor, Vijay was saying that his name is Vijay, so which means he stands for Hinduism. Okay, the moment he won, he became Joseph Vijay. So look at, he's changed his color even before he's come into power. And also look at what Annamalai says. So let me just take that. Yes. So Annamalai is saying, yeah, one second. Let me just go to that. Yeah, well said, Annamalai. The nation watches. So I'm not able to read that. One second. Let me just go to. Yeah. So Jaideep, could you give me the bigger version of that, please? Yeah. So moving on to more comments. Lena, even I feel TVK may be funded by CIA. And why didn't Hindus not vote for Annamalai is the question that people are asking. Now here, see, Annamalai challenged Udaynidhi's talent, saying if you want Sanatana eradicated, first stop your own mother from going to temples and following traditions there. See, so well said by him. And Lena says his government will fall in 6 months. Then he will try to win with full majority. So this is something, this man is kind of, making people surprised like anything. Welcome, Vinia. And Dhanashri says, Vijay's firms are dubbed in Hindi for North Indian belt just to earn money. And here Tamil actresses are opposing Hindi, the double standard of these people. Very well said, Dhanashri. Absolutely. So now moving on to, something else. Now we're talking about Vijay has won the Tamil Nadu Assembly floor test with support from 144 MLAs along with backing from Congress, left parties, VCK and IUML, 22 AIADMK MLAs also extended support to the TVK government. As of late, Tamil actor and now, the TVK chief Vijay has stirred controversy by praising late LTTE chief Velupillai Prabhakar. During political rallies, Vijay has expressed support for Sri Lankan Tamils and referred to Prabhakar as having given them motherly love, positioning his party to address the Tamil Eelam issue. Now, Vijay has advocated for giving a voice to Sri Lankan Tamils and has highlighted they're suffering, and he's also praised the man who people were scared of, terrified of, the LTTE leader Prabhakaran, which has caused significant political debate given that Prabhakaran was the mastermind behind the assassination of former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. Now, don't forget, Rahul Gandhi was the first one to have hugged him the moment he became the chief minister. Now, he is the one, Vijay is the one who is praising Prabhakaran, the LTT, who actually were behind the murder, the assassination of his own father. Now, critics have suggested that Vijay is using this in part to gain traction for his new political party, the TVK, ahead of future elections. His party's foreign policy focus includes issues related to Sri Lankan Tamil refugees and the rights of the Tamil Elam. This move is viewed as a high-stakes, politically clever move in Tamil Nadu politics that connects with a specific emotionally charged issue. Now you see, as the layers are being discarded, Vijay is showing his true colors. Now, the real agenda, stripped of political spin and based on recent actions, appears to be a calculated shift towards Tamil nationalist populism that mirrors the DMK's core ideology while attempting to capture its disillusioned voter base. Now, by synthesizing the latest assembly events and political declarations, this is the breakdown. The Elam pivot as a new vote bank. So now he is moving towards another area. As shown, Vijay has explicitly praised late LTTE chief Venupillai Prabhakaran, claiming he gave Sri Lankans Tamil's motherly love. Why is he using this strategy? This is a direct attempt to occupy the Tamil nationalist space by invoking the Elam issue. He appeals to a hardcore regionalist sentiment that the DMK has historically used but softened over time. Now, the risk, aligning with a figure linked to the assassination of former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, is a high-stakes move meant to signal that his party TVK will be more radical in its Tamil-first approach than the current establishment. So, we're talking about someone who's going to be worse than the earlier party. And why this tactical silence on Sanatana Dharma? So, as you see, while Stalin reiterated his eradication stand, Vijay chose to remain silent and even greeted the leader of opposition with a namaste. TVK's official ideology is rooted in Periyarism, Ambedkarism, and secularism. His silence suggests he has no intention of defending Hindu sentiments. If they conflict with rationalist principles, he has adopted to win over the Dravidian heartland. You see how he is shedding his, colors. Now, Dravidianism too, without the DMK label, is what is happening. Now, Vijay's agenda is not to change the system, but to replace the DMK as its primary operator. He has labeled the BJP as his ideological opponent and the DMK merely as a political adversary. By maintaining the DMK's core stands, such as the two-language policy, state autonomy, and rationalism, he is positioning himself as a cleaner version of the DMK rather than a genuine ideological alternative for those seeking a pro-Sanatan or nationalistic shift. In short, the agenda is to build a hardline Tamil first identity while staying silent on sensitive religious issues to avoid being labeled as pro-Hindu by the very base he is trying to steal from the DMK. Something even more shocking and devious, which will have far-reaching consequences in the future for people of Tamil Nadu. The man who seems to be orchestrating all this. We are talking about the lottery businessman Santiago Martin and his family, who have built influence across multiple political parties in Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, giving them political access regardless of which alliance is in power. So, at the center of the story is Adav Arjuna, who became the minister in Vijay's party, and Arjuna is married into the Martin family and is described as a key strategist behind Vijay's rise and the party's rise. Now you will see how the different members of the same family are spread across rival political camps. Lima Rose Martin, Santiago Martin's wife, is with the All India Anna Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, which is the AIADMK. And Jose Charles Martin, the son, leads a BJP aligned party in Puducherry. Adav Arjun is with TVK. So now you see how the tentacles of the octopus are moving. The multi-party presence forms like a political hedge. If one alliance loses influence, the family still maintains connections through another. It also discusses tensions within the family. Now, Jose Charles Martin publicly criticized Adav Arjuna, accusing him of aggressively pursuing power and influence within both politics and the family business. Now, also look at the family's growing political reach to the business empire of Santiago Martin, whose company, Future Gaming and Hotel Services, became the largest purchaser of electoral bonds in India between 2019 and 2024. So the Martins are now being seen as an emerging political business dynasty that has strategically embedded itself across the multiple parties and governments in South India. Now, moving on to the more hilarious part. Now we're talking about, why, what happened to the astrologer, who was going to become his OSD, that has suddenly, gone kaput. Now, the appointment and subsequent removal of Ricky Radhan Pandit Vetrivel as Chief Minister of Vijay officers on special duty, OSD, was a classic political fire and ice moment that lasted less than 24 hours. Now, the hilarious part of it is that we were wondering whether the whole family is going to join, whether the, his tailor will become the textile manager, and whether the cook will become the food, minister. So we were, I think he was, he's going to use all his family members and his living in girlfriend, I assume, as, different in different departments of his government. Now, so let's look at what happened to this, on why this astrologer was hired and why he was so quickly broken. Because, yesterday, I think, in social media, everybody was having a huge laugh. Now, why was he appointed? Now, Ricky Radhan Pandit had reportedly predicted Vijay's electoral victory a year in advance. He is considered a close personal aide who has been by Vijay's side during key political and personal milestones. Now, to justify the government paycheck, the TVK initially defended the move by citing his role as a party spokesperson and media rep rather than just an astrologer. Now, reports suggest that the CM has consulted Vetrivel on critical government decisions, including allegedly shifting the time of his own swearing-in ceremony based on his astrological advice. Now, why was the appointment then revoked? Immediately after the order was issued on May 12th, coalition partners like the Congress, CPIM, and VCK went public with their outrage. They argued that the government, claiming to follow Periyar's rationalist ideology, could not have a godman on the official payroll. Leaders like CPIM State Secretary Shanmugam pointed out that it is a constitutional duty of the government to promote a scientific outlook, and appointing an astrologer directly contradicted that responsibility. Now, within hours of winning his floor test in the assembly on May 13, Vijay revoked the appointment to settle the political uproar and prevent the superstitious row from overshadowing his first week in power. Now, Vijay tried to bring his personal guide into the inner circle of power, but the weight of Dravidian political history and the pressure from his own allies made it impossible, an impossible deal to, sort of keep. So these are some of the points. So let me just also take some very, important comments that are coming from your side. Let me just look at, yeah. If these people like Vijay get elected, then the life of the Hindus will be miserable, says Dhanashri. TN needs leader like Anna Malay. And Sunita says, even Joseph, Vijay's mother, is a practicing Hindu. And Sunita says, too, thank you so much, Sunita, always very kind. Is CIA, LTTE, deep state behind his win? This is what is everybody's, sort of accusation that these are the people behind, Vijay. When Stalin made the comment first time, I was like, how dare he? Why doesn't our judiciary think so too? Says KK. Very well said, KK. And Vijay has presented himself as a son of an assistant director with no political background, and his son called struggle. See, Dhanashree, when you say that, let me also say, reiterate one point. You will have seen that in the past so many days. Look at Vijay's body language. He has completely changed. He seems absolutely bored of politics. He didn't think that it's going to be so boring. He loved movies where he goes around, taking a gun and shooting 100 people, or doing romantic scenes. Now he didn't figure out that politics is going to be so boring. So if you look at the way he sits, he seems to be completely detached from what's happening. He seems to be in some other world, perhaps with dancing around the trees with Trisha. Now Vijay has presented, and yeah, absolutely, I took that. And then Keki says, to be honest, I'm not sure if this new government, I also doubted Keki. Did this Vijay read about Ambedkar, talking about his party ideology? Absolutely. And so let's go on to the next comment. Shiv says, no use blaming Udayanithi Stalin. Blame those who voted him even after his Hindu hatred. When will secular Hindus wake up? I wish, as Sunita said very clearly, I wish we never had the word secular at all, because it's only, imposed on Hindus. And I know how Tamilians generally think. When you talk about Mumbai or Delhi in front of them, they refer to it as another Desh. And Leena says, RSS really needs to do ground level work inside Tamil Nadu like they did in West Bengal, so Hindus don't vote for him. Well said, Leena. I wish Vijay's government should fall for the betterment of the state. Otherwise, it will be Kejriwal's Delhi too. This is what we are all predicting, Dhanashree. Absolutely true. Ma'am, in fact, Arjuna apologized for playing Tamil Thai Vaidu, their state song, after Vande Mataram. This shows how their mentality, Sunita, which shows Vande Mataram in poor light. Absolutely. And Isha says, behind person Talaivar. Behind Talaivar Namo. Now, Vijay's gardener be agriculture minister. Such a joker he is. Absolutely. And God alone knows who else he's going to bring. Now, the people who make laddus and sweetmeats will also be joining, I guess. Adav Arjuna belongs to a family of corruption, and such persons are ministers, says Sunita. And BJP let West Bengal rot till the people threw TMC out. Same happens in other states while people suffer. BJP should use a better strategy. And Vinaya says, I guess this party is unstable, will fall downfall very soon. He's trying hard. All the best, says Vinaya. And Leena says, I hope he isn't the next Zelensky inside India. Well said. Secular socialists were added by Indira Gandhi without any debate. It should be removed. Studying our original constitution should be made compulsory. Absolutely. Now, moving on to the next piece of news. So let's move on to Rahul Gandhi. Now, we're talking about the recent development. Now, as the leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi on Tuesday submitted a dissent note to Prime Minister Modi over the selection process for the next CBI chief, alleging that the exercise was biased and reduced his constitutional role to that of a rubber stamp. He shared his dissent note on X and wrote, I cannot abdicate my constitutional duty by participating in a biased exercise, is what he said. A high-level meeting was held at the Prime Minister's residence and attended by the PM Modi, Chief Justice of India Surya Kant, and Rahul Gandhi to discuss potential successors to CBI Director Praveen Sood, whose tenure ends on May 24th. So now, let me briefly tell you, why this guy is not happy about why the appointment should not be considered. Now, see, by officially recording Rahul Gandhi's dissent now, he ensures that any future action the new CBI chief takes against him or his allies can be branded as politically motivated or the work of a biased appointee. So you see, he's getting prepared for that. This is what he does in every case. The second point is the 360-degree trap. He is demanding self-appraisals and 360-degree reports. If the government provides them, he gets access to sensitive internal dossiers on top IPS officers. If they refuse, he gets to claim the process is a sham. You see how slyly he is working. Now, also the next point is he trying to neutralize the Chief Justice? His presence on a panel with the Prime Minister and the Chief Justice of India normally gives the appointment a seal of neutrality. By publicly fighting the process, he attempts to strip away the legitimacy so the government cannot claim the appointment was unanimous or checked by the judiciary. So you see how, cunningly he is putting all these points. Now, this isn't just about one director. It's about reinforcing his narrative of institutional capture. Every time he is outvoted 2-1 in these meetings, he uses it as proof to the public that the system is rigged against the opposition. He isn't trying to win the appointment. He knows it will be outvoted. He is trying to win the narrative so that the CBI's hands are tied by public perception before the new chief even takes the oath on May 24th. So you see how cunning he is, and that's how he's working. So everything that he's doing is for his own, safety and security. Lena says his British citizen should be told he is anti-India, deep state, and a Chinese supporter. And why is government hiding his British citizenship? And also, she also says his MOU should be made public. He is pro-China. Very well said, Lena, and absolutely, I agree with you. With this, we end this session. We'll bring a lot more news tomorrow. Good night, Jai Hind, and Jai Shri Ram.